Garland Day coincides with Oak Apple Day and is said to commemorate the restoration of King Charles II in 1660. Presumably the garland is meant to represent the oak tree in which he hid after the Battle of Worcester. Some folklorists suspect that it is actually a much older custom that transferred from May Day, as many May celebrations did after having been banned by the Puritans, and the Garland King does resemble a kind of Jack in the Green or Green Man. By the 1960s, it had received wisdom that the celebration was a remnant of a more ancient form of nature worship, and indeed in 1977 one folklorist declared it to be based on a much older rite of human sacrifice. However, subsequent extensive research of local records demonstrated that the ancient custom was no older than the late 18th and early 19th century, and had grown out of the village's ecclesiastical rush-bearing festival. The bell rings of the festival had first been replaced in 1897 by Morris men, and then as the day increasingly became a tourist attraction by schoolgirls in white and participants in historical costumes to prettify the event. The maypole was first used in the festival in 1916. This acceptable piece of folk pageantry became the new custom and remained so throughout the 20th and 21st century, with the only change being the use of a female to play the lady instead of a male in drag from the late 1950s onwards. Starting from midday, most of the afternoon is taken up with the construction of the garland, a roughly bell or beehive shaped wooden framework to which are tied bunches of garden flowers. Once it is finished, a small posy, named the Queen, made of particularly fine flowers tied around a short stick, is inserted as a topknot into the top of the garland. In the late afternoon, the Garland King and his female consort, confusingly sometimes mistakenly referred to as the Queen, but formally simply the Lady, dressed in Stuart costume, mount their horses. The garland, which is said to weigh between 56 and 60 pounds, is placed over the King's head and shoulders. Only his legs are visible beneath it. The dance starts at one of the village pubs. The starting point is chosen on rotation. The riders and Castleton Silver Band then lead an evening procession round the town, stopping at each pub. Young schoolgirls dressed in white with flowers carrying small maypoles known as garland sticks, twined with ribbons, follow behind and may dance a form of Morris dance at each stopping place. When the circuit of the village is complete, the King rides up to the churchyard gates, where the Queen, Posy, is removed from the top of the garland, and it is kept on one side to be placed on the villagers' war memorial. The King rides to the foot of the tower of St Edmund's Church, where all the pinnacles but one have been decorated with oak leaf branches. A long rope is hung down and tied to the garland, which is hoisted up the side of the tower and then impaled on the central pinnacle. It remains there for several days until the flowers have wilted. Formerly, it was left to fall apart completely. The day concludes with Maypole Dancing in the marketplace and the ceremonial placing of the Queen Posy on the war memorial. Then the residents of the village follow the band back through the village, dancing the crisscross.
Glorious sunshine.